definitely was there during that time. But yeah, man, I was like, yo, we ain't had the same. Like we talk about the. I was like, I'm happy that you had that experience because I ain't had that experience. I had stupid shit like people threatening each other in the hallway with death, and then coming into the school with a rest in peace T-shirt of somebody that ain't even died yet. And I'm like, oh my, this was like this type to see at this school was like pre rap beat to what we know today. Because you could see a rapper doing some like that. Wearing an RIP shirt to somebody that ain't dead yet. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Okay, I thought that's what you said. I was like,
that is what I said.
You didn't say rest in peace T-shirt to a ain't dead. Like, wait a minute.
Yeah, like I'm going to kill you, like that type of shit. I'm just like, so yeah, her experience. Everybody, welcome back to another episode of the According to West podcast. As always, we got DeLaw.
You got to say it right. You got DeLaw, the double son-in-law.
I thought you was changing it to something else.
I don't know. I haven't found anything that's creative yet.
I thought you just sent me something that you said you was going to start saying.
I don't know. I forgot.
Oh, jeez.
Because I didn't write it down. That's why.
As always, you got me, Wes, and forgetful as DeLaw. I could have sworn he said, call him. Let me see. I don't know if I made that up. Sometimes I do shit like that where I be so convicted in what I'm saying. I'll be like, oh, I never said that, or that never happened. But I might be making it up because as I'm going back through our I don't know. I might have made that up. Yo, question for you.
All right.
Does ketchup go on chicken?
If it's on a sandwich.
What type of sandwich, though? Not a grilled chicken sandwich, I would say.
A grilled chicken sandwich? It could be.
Oh, my gosh.
At McDonald's, we did not put ketchup on any of the chicken sandwiches. I would say that we didn't. But people did request ketchup on their chicken sandwich.
All right, so this might be an unpopular take. Me and my wife was debating about this shit yesterday. I said ketchup does not go on chicken. The only time that it does, chicken fingers because it's breaded, but it does not go on shit like grilled chicken or even fried chicken from home.
Yeah, I wouldn't see it from fried. Well, chicken fingers and fried chicken are the same thing, but
not because chicken fingers aren't seasoned. Fried chicken is seasoned.
Okay.
And I explained that.
Where are you going with this?
Yes, I explained that, and she was like, "No, how come you don't put ketchup?" I was like, "Yo, ketchup is just so." I was like, "There's a reason for honey mustard and all the other sauces and ranch and shit. Like, ketchup is for the dipping things. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you'll put it on your sandwiches, but mainly for your dipping things."
Mm-hmm.
And so we went through this whole debate about it, and I'm like, and she was like, "Well, sometimes and this is my wife, and it shocked me to the core." She said, sometimes I'll just, I'll take the skin off and it just be the chicken with no seasoning and the ketchup. And I'm like, what are you doing?
First of all, why you got unseasoned chicken with black?
No. She would take it off. Or she'll put ketchup on top of the seasoning. That's the shit that bothers me. Because I'm like, yo, the seasoning is the seasoning for a reason. Mm-hmm. And you gonna put ketchup on it? So I went on the internet and people was like, you know how like Reddit and shit like that. And one of the things was like, why people that put ketchup on chicken need to go to hell. Like that. I was just like, oh my. She was like, what? She's like, am I weird? And my wife was like, am I weird? I was like, listen, you see my response if you I'm like, you're not a child no more. Like, you don't put ketchup on everything.
Right.
But it goes on like chicken nuggets and chicken. I was like, yes, those aren't seasoned because I made some chicken in the air fryer, and she was like, damn, this is what she said. She was like, damn, I would have put ketchup on it, but the juice from the juice from the baked beans will go together. And I'm like, ketchup? That's how it all started. I'm like, why would you put ketchup on some chicken that I seasoned seasoned, and I seasoned that she normally eats.
Blasphemy.
Huh?
Blasphemy is what
Yeah. I'm like, come on. And she just couldn't understand it. She's like, well, I'm gonna ask my sisters. I was like, y'all grew up together. Y'all gonna say the same fucking thing. I was like, chicken fingers, fine. Chicken sandwich, maybe, because the chicken sandwich ain't breaded because it's it's not
and it's more for the
seasoned. It's probably breaded or deep fried or some shit like that. I'm like, yeah, I get that, but
I think for a sandwich, I think it's more for the not for the what do you call it? Not for the chicken. I think it's more for the bread because there's so much stuff going on with it.
Yeah, it needs to be a little bit more moist and everything because that chicken breast gonna be dry. Like I'm going through all that shit, and I'm just like, and I was like, please tell me you do not think steak goes on. Ketchup goes on steak. She was like, no. She was like,
at least you got that.
But here's the thing. Here's why I kind of looked at it a little weird too. She was like, nah, just steak sauce. I was like, listen, you ain't really even supposed to have steak sauce on that motherfucker. No one should be drenching their shit in any type of steak sauce at A1. That is for you to just kind of lightly cleanse your, add to the palate of it. But I see motherfuckers just,
well, then stop buying it dry.
Yeah, I'll be like, come on, man, please. The only thing that belongs on steak is salt, pepper, and butter. That is it. That is fucking it.
I put my little razzle dazzle on and give it that little hint of vinegary and all that on there.
Yeah, but you don't want to. The
cook it to perfection.
Yes, the point of having a steak is because it is a steak. You ain't supposed to be doing too much to it.
I mean,
you're not.
I'm gonna say you gotta do a lot of steaks. Not gonna say you gotta do a lot, but I will say I've had some very underwhelming steaks.
Yeah.
Like somewhere I'm like, okay, you grilled it good, all right, cool, but they just don't hit. They don't hit. You know what I'm saying?
Why? Because they cooked it and they didn't prepare it. So there's a craft to that shit. Like depending on how you cook it and shit like that, like how the edges are. Like I like my edges crispy. I like it medium well. You know what I mean? Like tender and shit like that. It's also the type of steak that you decide to get too.
Yeah. I will say my fraternity brother, he made T-bones. Like they did an event where they made some T-bones and shit. I was like, all right, cool. Sounds good. I don't know what he seasoned them with. He probably did salt, pepper, let him sit there. Whatever he did, I put it this way. He seared it, put it in the oven, took it out. He was good. But that's what he do. That's his shit. That shit was so fucking good. He was like, oh, look at DeLaw, not even worried about that. He took the biggest T-bone. I said, look, nigga, I drove out here from Prince George's County, nigga.
Yeah, man, that was an interesting debate. And then I try to ask some of the other homies, and they try to be politically correct. I'm like, y'all don't do this right now, because they know I was talking about my wife and shit. I was like, yo, would you put ketchup on? Because my wife said she'll put it on baked chicken too, and I'm like, you're crazy.
No.
See, you're. I was like, now you're doing too much, and I'm like, we only got ketchup in this house. She was like, yeah, we do. I was like, that's how much I don't use ketchup. I ain't know we had it in the house. I didn't even know we had it in the house.
Oh God.
I was like, you're not a little kid anymore. You can use other sauces for dipping. But to go on chicken, like, come on now. Man. Like, yo, on this podcast, numerous of times, I'm like, yo, I put Chick-fil-A sauce on the chicken. Like, I will fry the chicken, whatever. Get the tube of Chick-fil-A sauce. Like, literally do that. And she was like, well, if you don't put ketchup on chicken, that's just like saying you don't like barbecue on chicken. I was like, barbecue ain't 100% ketchup. It might have some hints in it. And then sometimes the homemade barbecue ain't ketchup based at all. I'm like, come on now. And she was like, well, why when you say put salt and ketchup? No, salt, pepper, ketchup on everything, like on fries and chicken wings. I said, see, you fucked up there now because you know where we from. It is mumbo sauce. Salt, pepper, ketchup on everything. And then she was like,
that's what you put on your cheese.
I was like, it's not. It's mumbo
Salt, pepper. She says, she from Philly?
No, I put salt, pepper, ketchup. I'm sorry, see, now I'm fucking up. Salt, pepper, mumbo sauce on everything. Like when I back in the day when I get my wings and
What
fries.
was you supposed to do though?
And that's what I told her. I was like, it's never. I was like,
mumbo sauce.
I was like, it's never ketchup. I was like, you scaring me right now.
Where'd you find this woman at? That need to go to counseling.
Bladensburg. Bladensburg. I ain't find her there, but that she grew
from Bladensburg, Largo, Bladensburg, wherever she want to say she's from.
Huh? What happened?
I always say she's from Largo, but she grew up in Bladensburg. Yeah.
Nah, listen, she grew up in that area, right? But she went to she grew up in that area.
Blade?
Yeah, man. That was
Did she go to Blade at least?
So her first year she was going to Fairmont. Fairmont was hood as shit, so she asked to go to Blade. But during that time, Blade was at Bowie.
It was over at the annex.
Yeah, so she ended up going to quote unquote Bowie, Blade, which was a good experience for her. She got a good high school experience. I was like, you got a high school experience I ain't never get. I had to deal with motherfuckers bringing guns to school and smacking people in the face with them and punching the principal in the face. And what else happened?
When she graduated? 07?
Nah, she older than me.
Where did she graduate?
4?
Oh, she graduated a year after me.
Maybe. Don't give me the lie.
If it was 04, it was a year after me.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I'm like, oh, if she was at Blade, then she was over there by the annex and shit.
Yeah. She definitely was there during that time. But yeah, man, I was like, yo, we ain't had the same. Like we talk about that shit all the time. I was like, I'm happy we got that experience because I ain't had that experience. I had stupid shit like people threatening each other in the hallway with death and then coming into the school with a rest in peace t-shirt of somebody that ain't even died yet. And I'm like, oh my, this was like the type of shit I used to see at this school was like pre-rap beef for what we know today. Because you could see a rapper doing some shit like that.
Well,
wearing an RIP shirt to somebody that ain't dead yet. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Okay, I thought that's what you said. I was like,
that is what I said.
You didn't say rest in peace t-shirt to a nigga that ain't dead. Like, wait a minute.
Yeah, like I'm going to kill you, like that type of shit. I'm just like, so yeah. Her experience and my experience was definitely different. Yeah. Definitely different. But yeah, man, ketchup does not go on fucking grilled chicken, baked chicken, any type of chicken that's seasoned. It is only for dipping, and that is very loosely because you guys are adults out here.
Is a last resort to everything.
Try some ranch. Huh?
Ketchup is a last resort to everything.
Fuck, that's what I told her. I was like, yo, that is when you don't have nothing, and even then, you don't even want to use it. Yeah, I'm like, yo, it's not a delicacy. It's like it's not even tomato, to be honest.
Right.
Sugar, red, and something else. That's what I told her.
Tomato in it, but
huh? Sugar, red, vinegar, and what else? Something else. I forget.
But if you were using ketchup as a primary source of dipping, something's wrong. Yeah, it's like you're still drinking Bacardi when there's other rums.
That's exactly what it is. That is exactly what it is. That is exactly what it is. It's like, yo, or Mike's Hard Lemon. I'm like, yo, you fucking 37. You ain't got to drink that.
Why you drinking Mike Hard? Shit.
It's not wrong, but I'm saying like that's what you go to all the time. Like expand your palate. Mm-hmm. Like you could have some of them in the refrigerator or whatever have you, but there's usually some other things on the cabinet somewhere. Not just like, yeah, we're gonna get fucked up. You open up the refrigerator and some Mike's Hard Lemonade. Like, what are we doing here? Like basic stuff. Like, come on now. But yeah, I gotta laugh. She kind of got offended about it, but it is what it is. She good. She is good, man.
I can't believe her main source of everything is ketchup.
Yo, yeah,
that's almost grounds for divorce, really.
Nah, the steak thing, if she put ketchup on steak, might have been.
Shoot. Now I will
Oh,
say my wife was putting like steak sauce on lamb, which was really weird to me.
so I ain't never do steak sauce. I've done like Worcestershire sauce on it, but not a lot, just to kind of give it a little something. And then I did like a butter herb seasoning with butter. So I did some shit like that. I'm like, all right. But I don't prepare lamb like that. And that was during the times that I was getting it. You know, I always tell you about how scarce it is in this part of Maryland that I'm in. So because at the grocery store is at the grocery store. I don't get it often. But when I get it, I love it. But yeah, my wife would do the same thing, fucking steak sauce on that shit. I don't know. The way people shit, I haven't had a Wendy's Frosty and French fries combo in a while.
I haven't had a frosty in years.
Yeah, it's been years for me too. Ever since the lactose and intolerant shit start fucking me up because that used to be my go-to, a large fry, large frosty, put the fries in the frosty, take a spoon, and I eat like some fat man shit. Not like some fat man shit. That was some fat man shit. But a combination of flavors is unmatched. Now, if I would have put ketchup in that, you know how crazy that was? I was like, because of the fries.
I don't even use ketchup on my fries.
No, I don't either. That's the I eat if there's no sauces, like sometimes I don't even ask for sauce for my fries. Like fries to me, to be honest, if it's not carry out shit, and they gonna throw the mumbo sauce on that bitch. And I ain't been to the carry out in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I don't put nothing on my fries. Fries get eaten first, number one. Then your sandwich. But no, I don't dip my fries in the shit. Not like that for real, for real.
Like if I'm putting my fries in anything, it's gonna be to the homeboys Chuck Mumbo sauce. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Capital Mumbo. You know what I'm saying? That'd be the only time you'll see me dip them. But that means they had to been cold. I had to been warming them back up in the oven or the microwave, or they just had to be nasty fries that didn't have no season. They just put some fries in a bag, lightly gave them some salt, and was like, "All right, you good." And
Yeah.
other than
Who got
that, you ain't seen me eat no fries or anything. But
How was how was your and the family's Mother's Day?
indentured servant day, aka husbands gotta do everything that they do every other day. It was fine.
Oh, I didn't have none of that.
You know what I'm saying? It's funny because my wife's like, why you calling yourself an indentured servant? I say, because this is what it is.
Listen, if it wasn't even Mother's Day, I would still be that's how I see myself. So what we really saying right now?
Hey, look, I said, look, as much as you think this isn't indentured servitude, this is pretty much what it is. I'll be like, all right, well, cool. I want to go do this. You're like, okay, I want to do this. What do we end up doing? What you wanted to
What you
do.
wanted to do? Yeah.
So you keep saying that it's not indentured servitude, but it's exactly what it is, indentured servitude.
Yeah, mine was chill. My mom told me how much of a bad son I was and talked about that for about 4 hours. So it's pretty good. I think that joke went over DeLaw's head.
No. My mom called me a bad son the other day too, so it's all good.
Nick, my mom did not call me a bad son.
She calls me a bad son all the time. You know why?
Your mom calls you a bad son all the time?
Yeah, because I don't ever come see her.
I mean, here's the thing. My mom won't come out and say it, but she'll make her feelings be known. No, also real shit like Mother's Day. Me and my mom just talked. We didn't have we wasn't having a heart to heart. We were just talking and shit, which was dope. I think I made her which is kind of rare. Like I gave my mom some perspective on her life. And you know, sometimes like with our parents, they kind of doing that for us. And I wasn't trying to do that for her, but she told me that, and I was just like, oh wow. And all that came from a discussion of me telling her that I keep having dreams about my me being at my late grandmother's house, but she not there. But I don't even know why I'm there. You know, we were trying to analyze that, and we started talking about other stuff, family and shit. My nephew trying to get both of our attention because you know he's still at that age of look at me type shit, and we gotta say yo grown people talking like that type of thing. But it was a cool Mother's Day. Gave my sister and my mom some flowers and some money. Um, yeah, a standard of what I always do because that's what they want, money. I'm not buying candles and trying to guess stuff or anything like that anymore. Take too much time. Just for my mom to be like, I ain't like this color. And I'm like, never again. Here you are, lady. But yeah, my mom said my mom be having those same sentiments of like, yo, come see me often. Your
I'm like,
situation is a little different because you kind of further away than I am from my mom. I'm like 2 minutes away by car.
I might be like, oh, you didn't call me. It's been a week since you heard from me. How you know I'm not okay? I said, Mom, Dad's there.
That's how I be feeling too. Sometimes I'm like, yo, my sister's there. Like someone will tell me. Mainly her. Mainly her. Shit, whether my mom know it or not, sometimes I think I said this shit on the podcast. Sometimes I just drive past her house, make sure everybody's like in the house. Like if I happen to be out, I will go out my way to drive past the house to make sure I don't see nothing crazy going on, or you know what I mean, like a door open. You know what I mean, like something. I don't know. She don't know that, but I'm always thinking about her and having her best interests at heart and whatever decisions I make as far as my future and shit.
My mom, she called me at work. Are you busy? Mom, I'm at work. Oh, I mean, I was just asking. I'm like, come on.
No, this is my mom. She'll call. Hey, what you doing? I'm like, oh, you at work. This the time you at work, right? And in my head, I'm like, yo, it ain't like I got a part-time job like at the mall and shit. I'm a full-fledged adult. It is definitely 9 to 5 in this bitch. Like, come on, mom. I ain't want nothing. Oh, this is what I want you to do. And I'm like, you ain't want nothing, but this is what I want you to do. And
This is what you want me to do.
I'll be like, oh fuck did I like all the time, man. All the time. Especially since she's getting his home she's getting her second phase of her garden together in the backyard. I'm just like, the other day I was moving dirt. The other day I picked up a bunch of bricks from a fucking Home Depot. It's like shit like that. Like that's how my Saturdays be, just fucking loading bricks into a fucking Subaru. And then taking them back out, and my nephew's like, I'm strong too. I'm like, boy, if you don't get the fuck out the way, these fucking bricks heavy as shit. That's what my that was the Saturday before Mother's Day. That's what my Saturday was, and then had to turn around and ended up spending damn near the day with her. Not that I'm mad at that, but that's just what it was. So shout out to mom. That's what she does. Shout out to mom.
Well, I ain't had to worry about all that. I just had to call her. Then she was like,
"You ain't do no dinner."
Mm-mm. You know, she went to dinner with my uncle and them. And I took my wife to brunch to a place that she was like, "Oh, I want to go here for brunch." I was like, "Oh, okay, that's fine." I was like, Is it expensive? She was like, well, not really. It was expensive. The wine was expensive.
Yo, it ain't never expensive when it's our money. But when it's their money, I don't know. I don't think I got that right on me right now. I'm like, where is it then? Like, what you mean you got it on you?
For my wife, like yesterday, I was like, oh, what we doing for dinner? She said, I don't know. I ain't got no money. I ain't asked you about no damn money. I said, what we doing? I was like, what we doing for dinner? I just want to know so I know what I need if I need to be
cooking.
What do you call it? Not just cooking, but if
expectations.
if I'm just trying to if I'm going to eat, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, in essence, if I'm going to eat or if I'm about to just drink some beer, get my calories that way. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God. Every day, yo, it never fails. It never fails. You say something so so unhealthy. What do you mean? Eat, drink, get your. I hear. Yeah, I know what you mean, but come on, man.
Hey man, you gotta do what you gotta do.
No, but the thing is, you don't have to do that.
Says who?
Your body.
It'll be all right.
Yo.
I've seen people do worse.
Yeah, the nigga on the fucking corner that is literally has no choice but to drink his fucking meals. Yeah. Yes.
I guess you're right on that.
Why lie? I need a beer sign. Yes, those motherfuckers. Yes, I've seen worse too. But you're not there.
No.
You actually live in a house.
Yeah. Well, I like I said, I blame it on her.
Who was her?
My wife.
Okay. Oh man.
If she had said what she wanted to eat, we would be having this conversation.
But you're a grown man.
Hey, look. She's still the wife.
What hurt, yo?
She need to be cooking.
I was. You went totally left from what I was about to say.
Hey, she need to be cooking.
That's not what I was about to say. I was going to say, you a grown man. What she do should not affect you to that regard of whether you eat or not if she ain't hungry. So you're telling me like, well, she ain't cooked, so I had to fucking drink my dinner, which was a Jameson.
Hey, it was Martell.
Oh yeah, shout out to Martell. Same fucking
that reminds me. I meant to go get my shot of Martell.
Oh my God.
See, you just reminded me. I'm over here just drinking my Corona like something missing.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, and it's nice and cold. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You know what? What would I do without you? What would I do without you? I keep finding all these damn inks on this table. It's just crazy. I guess they think there's food in my laptop. I'll take care of those things later.
Or your laptop keys got a bunch of food stuck in them and grease stains.
It's possible. Oh shit! I still had this much left. But that was my Mother's Day. I tried to treat my wife the best I could, and not piss her off. And the cat got her a card. I got her a card.
Yo, I did the same thing for my wife. The cat got her a card. And I got a thing where the cat could put the paw print on the thing and then make an outline of it, and I put it in the card. Like an ink outline, like an ink, what do you call it? Ink, like a paw print.
Oh.
But of course, my cat wouldn't stand still.
Of course he would. Like, why would you expect that? Look, My wife
I
was
had to comb her in order for her to be like, yeah, because she liked being combed and shit. I combed her and I just like stuck the little thing under there. She was like, "What the fuck is this?" I was like, "Put your fucking paw on this." And I got her front paw and the back paw on it. Put it in the cart for my wife, and she was like, "Oh, it's so cute." So did that. But
see my cat. My wife has confirmed that we're not going to be getting no more cats after Leo.
I actually, yo, I was did not. I was the one that said, "Yo, y'all sure about a cat?" But here I am with a cat too. But that wasn't my decision. And I got what is the word? I got pressured into it because I didn't want another. So, what is your reasoning? I could probably already guess.
Well, she said that this is the best cat she's ever had.
Really?
So
That's sweet.
in her head, she said she doesn't want me to be, how does she say, tainted with thinking that all cats are like this, and I should just stop while it's
Hey, she ain't lying. She ain't lying.
while you got the best cat
If
possible.
this is fifth, ain't lying. I told my wife that. I was like, "Yo, I said my mom had when I was like a teenager, whatever. I was like, we had two crazy ass motherfucking cats, and both were boys. So the fact that y'all little boy over there, is so nice and so cool and so chill. I don't know where the fuck that comes from. Our first cat was in everything, stealing everything, running the fuck outside, down the street. I'm like, yo, come on. Like, we're trying to get to the school, trying to get to the bus to go to school. The motherfucker gone. I'm like, God damn it. Constantly. He was a mischievous ass kitten up until adulthood. Pissed me the fuck off. Stealing toilet paper, stealing loaves of bread, getting his hand stuck in the fucking bathtub drain, waking you up to get some food, taking one bite, walking off and going to sleep. Constantly. And y'all cat over there just chilling.
Yeah, just chilling.
Lucky y'all.
Just chilling.
Told my wife the same thing. I'm like, yo, I was like, to be honest, she's nice. Like, she's a little what is the word? Routine and very prissy and spoiled. But outside of that, she chill. I'm like, you just don't know. And then we be showing each other like, not certain people, other people's cats on Instagram and shit. I'm like, see, we could have had this. Could have had this motherfucker acting crazy.
Right.
But she don't.
I see, because when Leo came out the box, he obviously he's in a new environment. He took off running under everything he could find. But he took, he honestly really took a liking to me. Like I was just laying on the sofa, and he'll try to get up, and I just pick him up, and he'll come and lay behind me as if I'm a shelter. I really thought it was just because I was big or fat, but my wife just said, "No, they just like to find good hiding spots." I said, "How did I become a hiding spot?"
Yeah. Yeah. Cats are cats.
Yeah.
What role do relationships play in a man's mental health, and can they be improved? And how can they be improved?
I would say, it's getting hot in here.
How? Oh yeah, you've been drinking.
Yep, drunk in love without my love here. This is way better. All right, so at first I was going to say there is no such thing, but then when I really
There's no such thing as what?
I was going to say there was no such thing as male relationships that help with your mental health, but then like when I really thought about it,
That's not what I said.
well, you said how relationships help with a man's mental health.
You said male relationships though.
Oh, well, not male relationships, but relationships.
Yeah, God, that's definitely relation. The number one thing is be my peace. That is a relationship between you and your woman. If you not my peace, bitch, peace out.
Hey, I put it this way.
That's just an example, but
When it
I'll let you
comes to
continue.
relationships in general,
Yeah.
if it's not male relationships, generally it ain't gonna be but so much peace.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, we're married, so there's no like, oh, let me go talk to my homegirl about this. Who would help me with this situation? There's none of that. Now, back in the day, yeah, I could call my homegirl Stokes and be like, all right, yeah, what's up? Yo, let's go and get some ramen. I gotta talk to you about some shit. You know what I'm saying? And then it's all right. Here's my perspective because really, there's a like, yeah, it helps. But a lot of times, I think it just more or less helps in the aspect of just kind of easing your mind of shit. I don't think it necessarily helps. It helps with my mental health. But if I just need to bounce an idea off of somebody, yeah, it works. But it's I don't know. I don't find relationships to really be super beneficial for my mental health. I feel like my relationship with alcohol does a better job.
Bro, like
Now,
oh no.
I'm just being honest because, like, think about it. Like, even while we do this, right? We do this. I vent all my other shit. That helps with my mental health a whole lot more. You know what I'm saying? But it's just in a very general aspect. You know, I, I I think it can help. I think sometimes it does help, especially if you're in a really bad place. But you know, one of those things.
Listen, I hear you. All right, I hear you. The way I was looking at it, that question, the just clarity or just some behind the scenes shit. I did not come up with this question. I found
Uh-oh.
this question somewhere.
Oh, you found this question? So there's that right answer?
No, it's only your answer is your answer. There's no right answer.
Yeah.
But the way I interpreted this as just like relationships in general, like the relationships you have in your life, right?
Mhm.
So that could be your relationship with family members, friends, your significant other, romantically, shit like that. So
Yeah.
I think like there's like, to me, in my opinion, there's like uh three important relationships that play a role in a man's mental health, and that's the relationship you have with your parents, who you're romantically involved with, and
Mhm.
yourself. So when I look at it like that, I'm like, all right, how do my parents play a role in that? You know what I mean? So I your parent, like, from like the cliche shit of like the parents of your foundation is the truth. The parents of your foundation, your education, your learning, your emotional well-being, your physical health, and all that shit. So, um, you know, everybody mom ain't the same, and everybody mom didn't do the same thing
Right.
when it comes to raising their young boys and helping them to be men and shit like that. Some men, all they had was their mom, and they turned out fine. And some men, all they had was their mom, and it shows. Sometimes all they had was their mom and their dad, and turn out fine, and they can have their mom and dad, and stuff goes sour. So I think above that, your parents definitely play that starting role in developing how a man's mental health would be. Like, it's been so many times where, like, when I was young, like, like my mom, like, how she said things to me, like, she never yelled things, but it was just like her tone. It made me not want to tell her anything or ask her anything. I'm like, damn, she always seemed mad. But it was never like her yelling at me. It was just like her tone was not approachable. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So It was like that. Like she was strict. Don't get me wrong, but she was strict, but it was one of those things where it's like her rigidness. I felt like rubbed off on me in a way where I didn't know. As an adult now, I don't always treat myself to common things like downtime or being social or buying myself stuff because I feel like the money could be put towards something else or it's more important things to do and shit like that. And of course, if you're not doing all those things like that, you ain't gonna be having fun in life. You're gonna be feeling miserable sometimes. You'll be feeling like you're missing out.
Right.
So that was kind of like an example that I thought of, like, yo, as far as like the relationship with your parents, that's
Yeah.
that could play a role.
See, I guess. Yeah. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. But I guess I looked at it from an aspect of is how do these relationships do it, and like in my current situation, in the relationships I have, does it help with my mental health, or even
I make it hurt. It could hurt and help.
Right. Like, because I look at it, it's like, all right, well, I got my relationship with my wife, and that could be either way. That could be helping or hurting. It just depends on what kind of day she having, and I just kind of go.
Yeah, that's parents too. Like when you're growing up, like you still gotta be up under them until you become a man. Your mental health,
Right.
It's something that it sticks with you until like they say, old habits die hard or some shit like that, or you got to unlearn all the things you learned when you was a child. Like that's mental health shit too.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if let's just say you had a dad or uncle that was just super, I don't know, whatever, abusive. I was just saying that.
I'll say for me, my relationships with people, I'm not gonna say it helps my mental health, but I'm gonna say it hurts it. I'm already a very and more than like, I guess, as far as parenting went for me, I eventually came to a point where I just said, fuck it. I'm gonna do what I do. I'll get the lecture later.
What do you mean you will get the lecture
I'll
later?
get the lecture later. You shouldn't do that, whatever. But I'm gonna do what I do. Like, it's not that my parents didn't parent, because my parents did parent. If my mom said it, it was like, all right, I hear you, mom. If my stepdad said it, it's like, all right. Because a lot of the stuff was very not contradictory, but it was very like it conflicted with everything else. So case in point. So my stepdad was like, oh well, and this is why I'm like in my 20s. I'm working for the feds at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, you need to clean your room. What?
You are living in his house, though.
But no. Hear me out here. So it wasn't that my room was messy, right? Because I barely slept in the room. I barely was at the house. So when the maid came and cleaned up everything was still there.
Y'all had a maid?
Yeah, once me and my sister became adults and my parents didn't have to pay for me and her anymore, my mom paid somebody to come and clean the house every 2 weeks.
God damn.
I was like, all right, whatever. So the room never got there. Like, I literally would come in, I go to the basement, go to sleep, wake up, shower, put my clothes on, go to work. That's what I did. So one day I had to coach a game and go to this other job I was doing. And I get there and I'm like, all right, man, this motherfucker, he gonna do something crazy. So when I get there, the people weren't none of the kids were there. And I was like, all right, that's fine, whatever. And I go home. Niggas in my room with a trash bag putting stuff in it. I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, well, I told you to clean your room and you left. Yeah, because I had to go to work. He's like, I don't care about your little job. I told you to do something, you do it. I don't care about them people who employ you. Just like what? So
I
I'm
don't care about those people who employ you. I'm like, yo, Dad, what type of man you want me to be? Like, what are you doing?
but you see what I mean though, like
So you don't see how that affect that at that moment that could affect your mental health.
because it didn't. I was just like, all right, I'm gonna go get this money.
Yeah, I get what you said, but yeah, I get what you said.
But I can see what you're saying. Like anyone,
Yeah, I see,
like,
and I also see what you're saying too. It's kind of like, yo, yeah, these things, these relationships try to, play a role, but it didn't.
right. Because it was like I remember. I forgot. I think I told you this story. So my sister had a birthday party out in like Annapolis somewhere, and I was like, all right, whatever. But I had a tutor, so I'm out tutoring. It's like on a Saturday, and I'm tutoring, right? And my mom was like, "Are you coming?" I said, "Well, right now I'm tutoring. I gotta get this money. I don't make but so much working at a tutoring center, plus at the stockpile. I only make but so much money. I got to go do this shit on the side, so I had some money to do some shit." So I get done about 7:30. I think my sister party started about 6:30, 7 o'clock. And I'm coming back from Laurel, and I'm like, I don't think I want to go.
Oh my gosh, you can't say you're going to show up and then don't show up.
Though. Well, I never said I was showing up. They wanted me to come, and I was like, I don't know if I'm showing up. So I go home, I go and shower, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm about to just go to Fat Boys. So I get home. And the next morning, he's like, so why didn't you come to the thing? I said, because I was working. What do you mean you were working? Well, I woke up. I left at 10. I left at like 9:30. I went to mathnasium. Then I had other students. I had the tutor after I left mathnasium. I'm not. In my head, I'm like, I thought that, that's a pretty straightforward.
Solid. Yeah.
Well, it was just such a thing. You don't do nothing ever to support her, and like you treat her like shit, and like no one cares about your job. Like you supposed to show up. What? And so, if my mom's, I'm like, so if I don't go to work, I don't get paid. That was my if I don't go to work, I don't get paid. So I'm not supposed to. Well, you'll figure it out.
No.
In my head, I figured this shit out.
I'm getting paid. They need to get paid.
Right. And my mom was like, well, I he wanted you to show. I said, Mom, hear what I'm saying. If I don't go to work and I can't pay my bills, he's not paying the bills. He's openly said, oh no, you're on your own for your bills. You pay your bills, but you want me not to go to work. How does that, if you want to go ahead and go, okay, we'll give you $300 so that any money that you lost not going to the thing you can have, I'll show up to anything. But if that means
who won't?
But if you're telling me I can't, that you want me to be somewhere and you don't care if I lose money because whatever, no. At the end of the day, that is not how y'all raised me. And now all of a sudden, because I told my mom, I said the only reason he's mad is because he didn't want to go, but he went, and when he saw that I didn't go, then he felt some type of way that he thought that he was like, man, I could have stayed my ass home too. I mean, sometimes you gotta read in between those lines. Like,
fuck yeah, man.
You ain't mad because you had that I wasn't there. You mad because if you didn't go, you wouldn't even know that I wasn't there. You mad because your mom and your daughter said, I need you to be there. You were there, and then you realize I wasn't there. You like, man, fuck this nigga.
That shit would drive me. Even though you're an adult and shit, that shit would still drive me crazy. I'm like, these motherfuckers, man.
But that's why I said, like, at the end of the day, I was just like, I ain't tripping off of it. It's like, all right, well, hey, you mad? Cool.
Yeah.
That ain't got nothing to do. You're mad over being who you told me to be.
Yeah, that's another thing with parents. It's like you either mad or who you told me to be, or you mad at what I grew up to be. And it's kind of like, that's you. Right. I didn't raise me.
Right. And you know,
and even if I did raise me, you should have stepped in.
I mean, I understood what they were saying, but it's like, yeah, like you know, because I never asked my parents for anything. My sister, for all the parties she's thrown it for her birthday and rent these places out, my sister would still ask for money from them. Well, I'm short on this, or my mom be like, oh well, I pay part of your sister's rent or mortgage. And I'm like, why? And she's like, I mean, she needed the help, and I'm like, but why?
Why is she putting her? Why is there a situation that she's putting herself in where she needs help?
I don't ask all that.
No, I'm not. That's rhetorical, and that's what I mean. That's rhetorical, but that. Come on now, uh, that's the double standard. No, we definitely as men ain't going back to our parents saying blah blah blah. It will be. You need to figure that out.
But for the longest I've been alive, when I started working, I stopped asking my parents for anything. Even when they asked me what I want for Christmas, I don't know, just give me some shit. I said it respectfully, not with shit.
Yeah.
But I didn't, my mom be like, "Oh, can I borrow some money because this and this?" Like my mom, mind you, I make considerably less than everyone in my family, considerably less. And even then, I was making a whole lot less. But I didn't ask nobody for no money. I didn't ask nobody for no help. I've even had, I won't say a relative, a person I know. A person I know was like, "Hey, man, I need to hold like 500." Because blase, 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 and if blase, blase doesn't get paid, then blase, blase happens, and blase, blase. I ain't got $500 to give nobody. I find $500 to give him, and I gave him 5.
Mm-hmm.
That nigga still ain't paid me back.
Oh, jeez.
It's been years, but it was one of them things. I ain't never asked nobody for no money, and I get it in that particular situation, especially if you're trying to move on with your life and you ain't got it on hand. You gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta bite the bullet and ask. But I think the last time I asked my mom for any money was when we moved into this house, or we bid on this house, and I asked her if she had 10 grand. She's like, "Sure, yeah, all right, here, hey, I'll send it over to you. Here you go." I'm like, "Huh? Yeah, here's 10 grand." I was like, you gave that up real quickly. Well, you never asked me for no money. This is the first time you asked me for shit. So here's 10 grand.
Listen, I know not to ask my mom for money, and I'll just leave it at that. I feel like if she had it, she would, but I just know not to ask. Simple. Not mad or sad about it, but it's very simple. I know not to ask. But what about like being romantically involved? You don't think that person that you're romantically involved with has a role to play in your mental health?
They can. I don't
A
think
role. I ain't saying that the end all be all de facto. I mean a role, even if it's minor, even if it's in between. Even if
I mean, I do think it's a minor role. I mean, and not that my wife or any romantic partner I had played a minor role in anything, but not big enough for me to care.
Yeah, I got you.
You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things like, it's like, all right, well, it's what it is. But not,
Yeah.
not big enough for me to be like, oh yeah, I care enough for you to let me bother it, for it to bother me.
Yeah. I think with both parties, male, female, whatever have you, it should definitely be a minor role. It's only when it becomes a major role where that shit starts to affect you. And even in the minor role, I mean, I won't say both affects you. One just affects you more, especially if you put them above yourself, like the major role on how your well being will be for that day or that month and shit. Like yeah, man. I would say the best thing for men to do is to unfortunately keep them at that minor role. Like sometimes we get so focused on like trying to build a relationship that we kind of lose like that appeal that attracted them in the first place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
and we try to be something that we think they want us to be.
Right.
And at that point, you already fucking losing because now you're trying to pacify what you think she wants you to be. And if she got you, I'm not sure she got you, but if y'all got together based off of who you are, who you truly are, then it should be easy maintaining your mental health at that point. I think I think that plays a factor when you try to be something that you're not. Also, when you're trying to when you're not doing the things you're supposed to do as a man, like for them to see you as a, like women. I ain't gonna say women crazy. Women are
women crazy, but I don't
some
want
of
to
them.
say that either.
Women are whether they want to admit it or not, they just like some of the stuff that we are supposed to inherently be and do. Like they like it when we're ambitious. They like, when we're a man of action and very few words and shit like that. Like they like that shit, whether they want to consciously think about it or not. So I feel like when you're not doing those things, even if it's basic stuff, like when you're not doing those things, one, you as a man don't feel like you're doing what you're supposed to do, and then they feel like you ain't doing what you're supposed to do, so they start seeing you differently. That's just my theory. So I think all that shit plays a role in that.
It definitely does. I'll tell you that much.
Because if you ain't doing what you're supposed to do, they will fucking be on your head about some shit. And that's why I said you can't have them be a major thing in your mental health, because the minute they on your head, you're gonna feel defeated.
Well, I will say my wife used to bother me sometimes with shit, but then I realized I was like, I don't even know why I'm letting it bother me. All right, we're married, shit happens, and excuse me. If you don't want to be here, you wouldn't be here.
Kind of true. Don't always rely on that, man.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't rely on that as let me save up. Nah, I ain't understand all that. But
yeah,
I'll say this. When it comes to, just my wife in general, or any relationship, they can come and go. Doesn't mean that they'll stay there, but you just kind of take it as it is. You're not. I don't understand why some people get very upset about shit that isn't upsettable to me. And I'm like, if it's going to work, it's going to work. If it's not going to work, it ain't going to work. So there's no need for you to be stressed out about it. But
it's easier said than done, man.
Hey,
especially in a relationship.
Hey, I've done it. Therefore,
you've also been through some horrible shit that comes from women being the assholes that they can be, just like I have. So just like right now, even like my marriage right now, this shit is a cakewalk compared to some of the women I've been with. Some of that toxic ass, I don't know what I'm doing. I just feel like, or, and in all actuality, you just got bored with me. You never really liked me, but you put me through the motions of you being, you know what I mean? Like that type of shit. I'm like, if I got time for that shit. So with me being with my wife now, and I say this shit all the time. I'm like, yo, the shit you put me through ain't nearly as worse as some of the shit I've been through. Like your attitude is not really an attitude to me. And that's why it's so easy for it to, her shit, her anger with me be real anger. Like, you know what I mean? But I'll be like, I'm always centered when it comes to that shit. Cause it's kind of like, look, you ain't been through what I've been through. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause it's fun. So, I went to my boy's birthday party, birthday drink, right? And he didn't tell me who was going to be there because, if I knew certain people were going to be there, I wouldn't have went.
Okay.
We'll put it that way. So I get there and I pull up and I get in the restaurant. I'm like, oh, hey, what's up? And there's 3 chicks there. So when I get around, one is his co-worker and one's my ex.
Oh, shit.
So I'm like,
that's crazy.
Okay. All right. Well, I ain't seen you since you broke up with me all those many moons ago, and I've been married for almost 4 years now, which means me and you, I ain't seen her since 2018, which means come on up on 6 years that I ain't seen or talked to her, nothing. Okay. So I'm like, all right, well, hey, shit happens. I'm already here and make the best of it. So I get there and, being cordial, as I always am supposed to be. And her fiance shows up, which I didn't know she was married or getting married.
Yeah.
It was one of the things where I found out the day of. I was like, "Oh, you getting engaged? Oh yeah, I'm getting engaged. Oh, that's congratulations." Guess who shows up? The fiance. So I'm like, "Oh my lord!" He's like, "Hey, what's going on, everyone?" And I'm like, "Hey, what's going on?" So me and him are both drinkers. Which is this where it gets real weird. We're like, "Well, you drink?" He's like, "Yeah, I drink." You drink? Yeah, I drink. What we drinking? We started just taking shots of tequila aneo, and I'm glad my wife wasn't there because I think her and my ex would have looked completely um
Confused.
baffled that me and him just all of a sudden just clicked and we just almost as if we were BFFs, like knowing each other for
But
years.
you know what I'm about to say? I'm probably about to jump ahead. He's probably more or less just like you, and she's marrying someone just like you.
Just like me, right? I mean, armed forces, yeah, but yeah, marrying someone just like me who drinks a lot and yeah, I mean, yeah, because he was like, "Oh yeah, man. Oh, don't worry. I knew you. I know she told me you were here already, so I kind of knew what to expect. But I ain't looking for no problems about it." I said, "No, I get it. I ain't looking for no problem."
It's been years, and you married.
Right.
If it was some problems, it'll be a weird thing for
For me to be mad about.
and him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on now, be
Like
confident in
it's one
be
thing if I
confident in who
was
you are. You know what I mean?
it's one thing if I was single and me and her
Even
saw
if you
each
was,
other.
even if he was single, is your girl your girl? Simple. Like, if you
Yeah.
have to get mad at that, then I don't think you should be getting married. Yeah, somewhere deep down, either you're not secure about the situation and you shouldn't continue this relationship, or
Oh
you're not positive about her. You got some doubts, and you should not continue the relationship.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think he would have been.
This was
I'm
hypothetical.
just saying
I'm
in
not
general,
saying.
like if I
Yeah.
was single and I found out like, then maybe I might have felt some type of way.
Mm.
But even then, I'm like, would I? Yeah, I thought about it, I was like, I probably wouldn't.
Nah, I wouldn't. And I take my girl home, fuck her extra crazy that night,
Mm-hmm.
just because. I only want you to think or have a idea that leads to another idea. No, I fuck too crazy, and yeah, this is where you at. This is you. This is where you at. That's something though. How long was you there for?
I was there
To end it?
till it ended. Me and him kind of stood around, talked, took another shot or so, you know, chop it up real quick. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't anything where it was like, oh man, it's like. It wasn't that bad. I was like, yeah, man, we dated back in the day, but I'm happy that you guys are together. We got good. He's like, oh yeah, no, we good. I don't, there's no hard feelings. And then I was like, I mean, there'd be no hard feelings. Like me and her done. We've been done. Shit happens.
Yeah, right.
He's like, yeah, nah, yeah, I get it, but I mean, man, but yeah, now we got to drink. And I was like, yeah, no, it's cool. Like we exchanged numbers. That was the weird part, exchanging numbers. I was like,
You doing too much. What you exchanging numbers for?
hey man, sometimes you just,
No, don't. I mean, yeah, you was probably tipsy. Don't ever call that man.
that
Come on, man. Like, come on now. It's a little weird. Now that's weird.
was weird, right?
Yeah, weird as shit. Don't ever. Don't ever. But I don't know, man. But yeah, man. Roles in a relationship. Do relationships play a role in a man's mental health and well being?
I think for guys, I feel like guys have a little bit not cleaner relationships, but theirs aren't as complicated as I find women's to be.
Yeah, because we're straight to the point. Women, they like to read in between the lines of everything. Men kind of are able to discern when to read in the line. Sometimes read in between the lines. I only say sometimes is because there's a gang of us out here that miss. I was talking to my wife about this yesterday. There's a gang of us that miss the hints of like a woman really digging us and shit like that. And I was telling my wife, I was like, yo, I didn't talk myself in the pussy and out of pussy in the same fucking conversation. And then back into it. Like, I was like, and she was like, what do you mean? What was you saying? I was like, no, it wasn't like I was saying something crazy. It's just more or less like, you're not saying the thing that she will want you to say or want to hear.
Right.
Like, you might say, you might not like Beyonce, and you might come out front and center and say, like, when y'all having this conversation, like, oh, you think she trash? But what your answer should have been was, yo, Beyonce's the GOAT, man. Ain't nobody else doing it like her. You give an unbiased answer. You kind of, you know what I'm saying? I be giving her examples like that of how, and I was like, I've done that so many times, learning how to talk to women, like talking myself in and out, in and out. I was like, it was a learning experience.
That's in essence what it really is. You talk yourself in and out of pussy sometimes.
Yo, sometimes when you married, you do that shit.
Yeah. Yo,
it's not even talking yourself in and out of pussy. It's more or less like your actions could be talking your ass out of pussy for a while.
I think sometimes, yeah, you kind of talk yourself in and out of it only because let's say you get into an argument where you're like, all right, pussy's on the line, and then it's time to get the pussy. Next thing you know, you done talk yourself out the pussy by thinking you're making a joke. You're like, oh yeah, I just made a joke. Like, all right, whatever. I ain't like your joke. All right, well, my bad. You still want to have sex? No. You didn't. Like,
you did that the wrong way. You don't say you still want to have sex, man.
I told my wife, I said, you just didn't want to have sex. Like, if you didn't want to have sex, like, that's all you had to say.
You try to guilt her?
I didn't try to guilt her. I mean, I told her what it was. Like, that whole time, like, put it this way, when she starts saying, oh, I'm tired, and it's time to do it, all of a sudden, now you trying to find an argument with me? Like, come on. Like, what are you trying to argue with me about?
I can't say I feel you on that one, but I get what you're saying.
I mean, I've had that happen. I'm like, are you sure that okay, cool. Well, now you're trying to press me. Well, no.
Yes.
I'll go to
yes, I am, because I want it. I ain't going to force you, but I'm a damn sure pressure you. Not going to force you, but I'm going to pressure you. Like, come on now. Never force. A little bit of pressure. The crazy thing is like pressure, and then you'll hear shit like, and this is totally left field, but when I said that word, it made me think about this thing I seen was like, there's a girl saying men taking no for answers now. They don't really pursue you. I was like, yeah, I gotta take no for an answer, motherfucker. It's no. Who playing games with you? Who is fucking playing games with you? Not in this day and age. Like, come on now.
On a TV show that they didn't take no.
Oh,
I don't get it. Like, I saw a meme where the chick was like, "Oh yeah, I went on this guy and it went great, and he invited me back over, but I told him I wasn't having sex with him, and so we laid there and we cuddled the whole time, and she was mad. She said, "Well, I think I'm the problem because I just wanted him to try." I said, try for what?
Just for you to turn me down when you already... I've been in situations. That's some toxic... That's what I'm saying. Like, I've been in situations. I've been in relationships like that. And I'm like, so I got to respect you as a woman. And I have to respect what you say. You tell me no to some things or no, that's not You don't want things this way, but just for you to be like, well, you didn't even try. And I'm like, what the fuck am I trying? I'm respecting you.
Right.
Now, I could disrespect you and treat you however I think you should be treated and do whatever the fuck I want to do. That's the type of relationship you want. I don't want to hear you say shit else.
Right.
I've been in those situations. They don't know what they want, and they don't. That shit don't last long with me because I just get annoyed. I get annoyed more than anything.
That whole thing annoyed me. I was like, "Are you serious?" Like, I saw that and I was like,
"Shit's mad annoying."
Fuck that bitch.
That shit's mad annoying. That's just like you'll never hear a guy be like, "Yo, you just never hear a guy say that. That guy will be like, "Yo, can you?" Yeah, you suck my dick. It's literally just that. Like, yo, that's what you go hear. Like, hey,
right.
What they want is what they want, not some. And that goes back to I was talking to you and one of my other homies. Women don't want to be treated like hoes until it's time to be treated like a hoe. But they really want you to get to the point where they can be treated like a hoe. In the bedroom is what I'm talking about. And it's just kind of like, yo, you can't have it both ways. And if it is,
like hoes.
I'm talking about in the bedroom. And it's a delicate balance with that. It's a dance with that. Like it has to be some give and take.
Look, you already coming back to my place, right? It's on the first date. At the end of the day, I'm already going to think you a hoe anyway. You might as well be.
No, I'm not going to think. No, I'm not going to think you a hoe.
I did.
In that situation, what that woman was expecting for him to pull his dick out and put it on her butt. That's what she was expecting.
Right.
Well, but it's kind of like, why I gotta do all that?
Well, no, she said he cuddled with her and all that other shit, but he ain't try to fuck her, and she got bothered.
It is what it is. He probably cuddled with her and smelt her hair and was like, damn, her track's old. I can't do this.
Look, and she probably was like, I hope he tries so I can tell him no. Like, no.
Yeah, I know I got time for that. I listen. I'm glad I'm not out. I'm glad I'm not out there like that because if that was the case, like we can go upstairs and cuddle. I'm not obliging to that. I would be straightforward with her and be like, look, I really find you attractive. I'm not saying that we have to have sex on the first night, but I don't want to create a situation for myself where my dick is rock hard and nothing's going to happen. It's just going to frustrate me for the rest of the night. Mm-hmm. So this is where I kiss you. Good night. And we go our separate ways. Simple as that.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm sitting there with a rock hard ass dick.
You know what I just found out?
You ain't got no more liquor?
No. This shot glass is smaller than this shot glass. This shot glass is 1.5 ounces or 1.6 ounces. This one is only 1 ounce. Wow. That's crazy.
On that note, y'all, relationships play a role in mental health. It can be improved by not taking those roles.
Oh, I had a story too. Damn.
Whatever, man. Not taking those roles.
Oh, damn. All right. I guess I gotta hold it for the next one.
You definitely do.
Oh no,
not taking those roles.
It's a quick one. It's a quick one.
Uh-huh.
A quick one. So I was chilling at the bar, right? And the chick was sitting next to me was like, she said she thinks she's crazy. I said, well, why would you think that?
She's crazy. If you think she's crazy, she's crazy.
She was like, because I broke a windshield the other day. I was like, wait, you broke a windshield? Punched it? I said, you hit it with a bat? She's like, no. So I was standing on the hood of my ex's car and I'd jumped back and I broke his windshield. And I was like, you all of like 110 pounds. Like,
they don't take that much.
Like, how hard did you? I was like, so first off, why were you on the car? And I said, don't even answer that. Obviously, you're on the car because he's tall as fuck and you're trying to be bigger. She was like, yeah. And he came to my house, he pulled up. I said, so why'd you come outside? Like, I don't know. I just went outside. I was like, come on. So not only could you avoid have paying this shit, because he obviously paid for breaking his windshield, you didn't have to go outside. You didn't have to answer the phone. You still went outside and you got in the car with him. Then you got mad. I said, so did you at least get fucked out of all of this? She was like, nope, I ain't even get no dick. I said,
See what I'm saying? You see how relationships with people play a role in mental health. Now she thinks she crazy. She ain't get no dick. And now she got paid for a windshield. All that shit is tragic.
Like, didn't get no dick from it. Like, come on. Like, come on.
That people do better in y'all relationships.
Yeah, do better in your relationship. Stop making niggas crazy.
We thank everybody for tuning in. Thank everybody for tuning in.
So we found the title to the episode.
That's not going to
Stop making niggas crazy.